Good afternoon, everybody. Hey, I wanted to talk to you about a show I watched over the weekend, Bill Maher. And he had a guest on there, Megyn Kelly, who is a Trumpist. Let's call her what it is. You know, she's a firm believer that Trump should be president again. I think he should be in jail, personally, but that's just my point of view, and I'm going to tell you why. She thinks that Trump did nothing wrong contesting the 2020 election, which I'm all on board with. We need to validate that the election is valid and without question above board. It was done numerous times in 2020 into 2021 prior to the January 6th coup that took place, where the insurrectionists incited by Trump went down, invaded the Capitol, like breaking into the building with guns in hand. They should have been shot right there. It should have been a quick, easy thing. Our military come in, wipe them out, pick up the bodies, send them back packing. That's how it should have been done. And the organizers should have been summarily executed as well. That's my take. Okay, sorry. But that's a fact. When you get war, which that was an act of war, attacking our capital, which is a sovereign entity of our government, is an act punishable by death under any instances. You know, he had armed militia stationed outside the counting headquarters inside of Arizona, Michigan, and Georgia to intimidate the people. He threatened people. Him directly? No. His people did. Because he's telling them such bullshit. He's inspiring them, inciting them to do mean, hateful things. You know, the governor of Arizona, he said they were going to hang his children. Threats in the mail, threats in email, yelling threats out in his yard. They were marching down the street through his subdivision. Of course, all carrying AR-15s, which should be illegal in the first place, you know. But she did have a moment of lucidity. She said, you know, I agree 100% with him on what he did to try to affirm his winning of the election. However, I don't agree with it. January 6th was his finest day. It was a bad thing for him. It was a terrible thing. But she falls short of calling it a coup. And then she said, but I'm okay with this. How the fuck could she be okay with this? A coup. To overthrow our government. Duly elected process is in place to elect a government, and it was done. She says, hey, I'm okay with the coup. Overthrow the government, I'm okay with. But I got a problem with transgender people. That was her next comment. You know, I got a problem with that we're chopping off dicks and, you know, changing sexes on children. And I agree with that, okay? I do not think that children should be getting sex change operations, taking steroids. But it's something that has been promoted in recent years, and I don't know when it started. It could, for all I know, it might have been before 4 years ago, for all I know, okay? I don't know when it all started, but it should be something that we address in the upcoming term. You know, she then moved on to no war started under Trump and blaming Biden for the withdrawal in Afghanistan, the fiasco around it. I agree, you know, there was no wars technically started under Trump, but you gotta look at it this way. Putin waited 3 weeks after he was out of office before he invaded the Ukraine. His buddy, Trump, probably asked him, hey, can you hang on for a couple weeks? You know, I want to be out of office when this starts. I want to have a clean slate when I leave office. So, guess what? The motherfucker waits 3 weeks. What's the problem? It didn't change the fact that he invaded the Ukraine because Trump was telling him that, yeah, Biden ain't going to do nothing. He's brand new in the office. You know, I've already weakened NATO because I've withdrawn us from all these different treaties and shit with them. Sorry, but that's on him. The invasion in the Ukraine is on his ass. he recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel as well, which single handedly caused the war that's going on right now in the Middle East. Because Hamas and Hezbollah have both been able to bolster their armies because they can go out and decry the U.S. and Israel teaming up together against us. That we're the Muslims that nobody appreciates. We need to get Palestine. And the two-party state or two-state arrangement that they were working is not acceptable. Well, that is on his ass again. Once again, he caused the turmoil that has caused war after he left office. It doesn't matter that he doesn't have wars under him when he incited the wars, when he incited the riots, when he incites people and encourages it, and then walks away and, oh, I didn't do nothing. I'm clean. I'm white. No, you're a fucking tool. Now, Afghanistan withdrawal. We had 13,000 troops in Afghanistan in February of 2020 when Trump signed an agreement with the Taliban to reduce that number from 13,000 to 2,500. And to release 5,000 Taliban soldiers that were being held by the government in Afghanistan. And to be fully withdrawn from Afghanistan before May of 21. So, January 15th, 21 comes along. We announce that we're down to that 2,500 magic number. We've released 5,000 soldiers that are fighting against us because the Taliban didn't stop. They kept attacking the whole time. They're attacking and killing civilians. We weren't getting killed back then, but that's because they could do what they wanted and we didn't interfere. Trump just sat back. Oh, no, I'm not doing anything. I'm my protectionist state. I'm home and happy in my recliner. Hey, you fucking tool. So January 15th come along. We've got down to 2,500. Biden comes in a week later, takes over office. He tried to stick to that timeline to get people out of there, get our military presence out of Afghanistan as best he could, because by then the ball was rolling. There was nothing you could do to stop it. We had only 2,500 people in the country in a advisory role at that point. We were trying to get out of there, but we got out in August. So that all the shit went down at the airport, that soldiers died at the airport, is 100 fucking percent on Trump. Because he sold us out. He sold out the Afghani people. He sold out our soldiers in the field. And made these arrangements with the Taliban, terrorist organization, that he let kill innocents and is still killing innocents today. Even though they're now the elected people. Bullshit. She then came on with this idea that people didn't know what to do with Trump. He destabilized them. They didn't know how to deal with him because, he could do this today, this tomorrow. But guess what? I can't argue that fact. He is an unstable motherfucker. He is the most unstable person I've met. Thank God I've never met him because I would put my fist through his nose. I mean, if he was sitting in front of me, I would punch him and we wouldn't be talking about it, okay? I don't like the son of a bitch. He's not a Republican. He's not a Democrat. He's not even a fucking American. He is a Trump. That's all he is. He's a fucking idiot. Now, the last point she made, of course, is, well, he's been there before. He was there for 4 years. He didn't do all this nasty shit. He's not a fascist. He's not evil. He's not going to release the military in the streets. Because he's been there before. He's got 4 years behind him. He's got 4 years under his belt. And he did none of this. Well, sorry, but he fired. Well, they quit on him, actually. All his cabinet quit on him. They're now telling people that this man is dangerous. Man, I use that in air quotes, because this is no man. No man grabs a woman's pussy. No man is gonna speak to women the way he does. But so his advisors that he had in his cabinet, they told him last time when he was in office, they prevented him from getting stupid shit out of his system. You know, he wanted to do things back then, but they came in and they gave him reason. They controlled him. Also, he did not have carte blanche when he was in office the first time. He did not have his own Supreme Court judges anoint him God, you know, that he has no consequences, no repercussions, that he can do what the fuck he wants as a president. Come on. Immunity does not exist for a fucking president, and it shouldn't. It shouldn't exist for anybody. Immunity is bullshit and needs to be tossed out, and anybody with half a brain, except our Supreme Court, because they got like a half, they gave him immunity. And guess what? He's going to use it to the full extent. You know, he wants to appoint generals, much like Adolf Hitler. He loved Adolf Hitler because, you know, his generals listened to him. They just blindly obeyed his orders. The Fuhrer spoke, and guess what? Fucking A. Yeah. Jerking off the graph. Okay, people. We don't need this man. We don't want this man. This man is dangerous. He already has a list that he's putting together of American citizens that he's going to send the National Guard and military knocking on their doors to impose his desire. If you don't listen to him, you disagree with him, you don't like him, he's going to send the National Guard and the military to take you out of your house, arrest you, deport you, do some shit that's bad, maybe kill you, who knows. But he's going to split families, he's going to injure people, he's going to cause a lot of turmoil. Because it's what they do. Dictators, if you prefer. You call them what you want. They're fascists. And this country cannot allow that. We need to step up. We need to not allow this tool to become president. That's it. You got to stop it. It's not too late, people. Get your head out your ass. Do what you need to do. And do not vote for this fool.